Welcome. Yoga practice with Zuri. So as I bring you into the practice today, I want to bring your awareness, your focus, to the movement of not just your body, but the movement of your breath through your body. So to me, the essence of yoga is first the breath, and then the movements. Breathing first, and then allowing the movement to connect to that flow of the breath. And there's no better way to really connect with that than just to come into a comfortable, relaxed, seated position. Place a cushion under your sit bones if you need a little bit of support for your hips. Either rest your hands on your thighs, or bring one hand to your heart and one hand to the center of the belly. And as you focus on your breath, just notice the gentle movements of your body. Maybe that gentle rise and fall of your chest. Maybe the gentle movements of your belly. Notice that when you breathe, you don't need to force your body to move. But really your body just moves naturally with each breath. And there's something really calming and peaceful about really just connecting to the gentle movements, the sound of your breath. And it always seems so easy. Breathe and move. Make that my intention right now at the beginning of this practice. Let's see if I can honor that for the entire practice. To breathe and move. Bring the hands to heart prayer position. Raise the arms up on a breath in. And exhale, bring hands back towards the heart. Breathe first, then move. Exhale, hands back towards the heart. So I start to focus on the breath first, starting to breathe in, and then gently moving. Take a big sigh. And bring the hands all the way down to rest at heart center. Let's begin our practice. Come on to all fours. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Open up the chest. Relax the spine. Maybe just give the hips a little bit of a gentle movement from side to side. And as you're doing that, maybe taking the head to gently look over your right shoulder and over your left shoulder. As you look over that shoulder, you may just see your hips drawing from side to side. Last one, right to left. And pausing in the middle. Tuck the toes under and press back to your first downward facing dog. Now I may be staying still, but there's still that awareness and that connection to my breath in and my breath out. Now if I was to just focus on my breath and allow my body to find its way into the shape it needs to be in as I breathe. Lift the heels, come up onto tippy toes, and take tiny little steps. Walk towards the top of your mat. Exhale, fold here. Deep forward fold. Maybe again give the head a little bit of a shake. Relax that lower jaw. Take a breath in, come up halfway. And maybe start to straighten and lengthen through the back of the thighs. So by coming up halfway, hands, tips of the fingers either halfway on the shin or tips of the fingers on the ground. So if you can just lengthen and strengthen the back of your thighs. Maybe tilt just a little bit of weight into the front of your foot. Chest is nicely open. And as you fold forwards, maybe soften the knees as you come into deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll take a long breath out here. Take the arms out, turn the palms slightly forward. Lift with the heart, the chest open, come all the way up to standing. Bring the palms together as they reach up and over the head. So drawing up through the front of the thighs, imagining you're lifting your kneecaps up towards the hips. Puff the chest open just a little. Keep the arms quite active. Connect each of the fingers and your thumb, making a gentle seal as you lightly press the palms together. Look up gently as you open your hands, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, come all the way forwards and down. And deep forward fold. Lunge the right leg back. Step it back, land that back foot. Keeping the heel off the ground, press back into the center of the heel, come up to the tips of your fingers. Place your right hand lightly onto the ground and rotate and twist towards the left, opening up the chest to one side, extend into the tips of the fingers. And as you sweep that arm back around and step the left leg back, come onto hands and knees. 3 rounds of cat and cow. Breathing in, exhale. Start the breath here, inhaling. As you come forward, start breathing out now, exhaling as you go under. Start the breath here, inhale. Start the breath out now, exhaling. One more, inhaling as you come forwards. Exhaling as you round. My neutral spine position. And just let the spine settle, a little bit of movement if that feels right in your body. Tuck the toes under and pike up and stretch back to downward facing dog. Maybe just have a little play around. Maybe step the feet a little further back. Straighten and lengthen both arms as though the upper arms are hugging towards each other. Find length through the back of the arms, down through the back of your thighs. Relax that lower jaw. Come up onto tippy toes. You take tiny little steps. Walk towards the top of your mat. Breath out. Soft knees. Just let your arms go. Maybe give them a little shake. Maybe shake the head. Take a breath in. Come up halfway only. Shoulders roll back, chest is open, create space around the collarbones. Your eye gaze, you're looking straight down, lengthening through the side of the neck, lengthening through side body. Take a breath out. As you fold a little deeper, you may need to soften your knees, take whatever you need. Take a breath in, palms rotate forward, inhale, draw up. As you come up to standing, sweep the arms around, draw the tips of the fingers and the thumb to touch. Keep your chest open. Bring the shoulders down. So as you soften and relax that lower jaw, just give yourself permission to let your shoulders drop as well. And really keep the arms active. Give the palms, the fingers a little squeeze. And just notice how that feels on your inner arms. Maybe squeeze gently the inner thighs towards each other. On the next inhale, separate the hands, look up. As you exhale, fold forwards. Take your left leg, step or lunge it back, press back into the heel, the back foot is in flexion. Press your left hand gently to the ground and open and rotate gently to one side. Keep opening, keep your chest lifted, look up. If that feels comfortable, look towards the tips of the fingers, take whatever you need, and then bring that arm around, and as you step the right leg back, just come onto hands and knees. 3 rounds of cat and cow, breathing in. Start breathing out, exhale. Inhale from this point now, breathing in. And start that exhale. Inhale from here. So the breath comes first. And the movement follows. One more. Inhaling to begin. Exhaling from this space as you round, neutral spine position. Maybe just move the shoulders, move your hips from side to side, tuck the toes under, press back to downward facing dog. Maybe the knees are soft, maybe you're lengthening through the back of your thighs, finding the heels melting a little closer towards the mat. Keep the hips active as you send your sit bones up nice and high. Relax that lower jaw. There's a tendency to grip around the jaw. We tend to hold that tension, not just in the jaw, but through the neck and the shoulders. Release it in the jaw and give yourself permission to release it through the shoulders. Keep your chest nicely open. Lift up onto tippy toes. Take tiny little steps. As we come back to the top of the mat, long breath out. Turn the palms forward gently, inhale to begin. Take a big sigh, let that breath go. Raise your arms 3 times, breath in. And out. The breath comes first. The movement follows, start to breathe out. Inhale. This time, fold forwards, long flowing breath out. Step back right to left. Come into a high plank position. Press back into both the center of the heels. Keep the foot quite active, foot is in flexion. Slowly bend the knees and lower them towards the mat. Lightly press the top of the feet down. Puff the chest open, lean forward slightly. Elbows come towards the back of the rib cage. As you lower to the belly, keep the chest gently lifted, roll the shoulders mat. Big toes, heels touch. Maybe move the hands towards the back of the rib cage. Rolling shoulders back, puff chest open. Baby cobra. Maybe hover the hands. Place the hands down. Tuck the toes under. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Extend that left leg for 3-legged dog. Now take a little glance and look forwards to the space you're about to step into. Bring the knee forwards. Land that right foot, followed by the left foot. Exhale, fold. Take a breath halfway left. Take a long breath out. Return on your inhale, breath in. With almost a big sigh, let it go. Raise the arms 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. Let it go. One more. Circling the arms around the body. As you breathe out this time, fold forward, hinge from the hips. Exhale fully and completely. Step back left. Step back right, high plank, pause. Strengthen the arms as though you're lifting your chest, the heart away from the ground. Lower the knees slowly. Change the angle of the foot. Lean forwards, brush the elbows towards the back of the ribcage. When your belly touches the ground, big toes, heels draw in, inner thighs connect. Move the hands back, hover the hands. So by hovering the hands, I'm just checking in. I'm not using my arms to push me up. Really activating the back muscles here to open the chest away from the ground. Lightly put the hands down, tuck the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Slowly start to extend that left leg, lift it up nice and high, shift your eye gaze, step, land forwards, breath out, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And take a long breath out. Inhale, stand all the way up. And with a big sigh, let that breath go. And take a breath in, inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Step back right to left. Holding, maintain that plank position. Again, you could lower your knees, otherwise shift onto the tops of your toes, lower down about halfway. Bring chest forwards as we come up into forward facing dog. Soften the elbows. Lightly press the top of the feet into the mat. Roll over the toes. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Extending that right leg. Shift your eye gaze forward, step to the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, let it go. Breath in first. Movement follows. Exhale, fold. Lunge that left leg back. Exhale. As you're breathing out, start to move and come forwards. Forwards and up as you inhale, come chest forwards. Exhale, downward facing dog. Long flowing breath out. Extending that left leg. Look towards the top of the mat, step forwards. Exhale, fold. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, draw up. Take a long breath out. Take a breath in here, inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Little pause. Take a couple of breaths here in forward fold. Spread the toes. Imagine you're tilting some of the weight into the front of the foot. So keeping the weight centered through your heel. Just to allow the head to hang forwards just a little further. Maybe sending your sit bones up. Stretching through the back of your thighs, whether it's the tips of your fingers or the whole of the palm that's pressing lightly into the mat. Come up halfway, breath in. Chest expands and opens forwards. Long breath out. Step back to downward facing dog. As we extend that right leg for three-legged dog, look forwards and just step just the right leg forwards only. Sweep the arms back and send the arms forwards as we come up into a classic crescent lunge. Open chest, open heart, extend the arms back. Heel is lifted away from the ground. Pivot that back foot and land in your warrior with a long breath out. Extend out to the tips of your fingers. Rotate that front palm and flip and reverse. Reach the arm up as you send the back arm down. And come back. Lift that back arm, lift your back heel. Windmill the arms around. Step that front foot back, hold. Lower your body, come forwards, cobra or forward facing dog. Open chest. Tuck toes under, exhale. Downward facing dog. Extend your left leg for three-legged dog. Step it forwards, land and pause and hold. Reach the arms back. Inhale, come up. Crescent lunge, hold. Chest puffs open. Keep opening up through the hand. Extending out to the tips of the fingers. Take a breath in. Pivot back foot and land in warrior. Opening up through the heart, through the chest, extending out through the tips of the fingers. Rotate that front palm. Keeping everything at the lower half of the body still, move the arms. Sweep the top arm up. Reach the back arm down. Take a breath in. And exhale, come back around. Land that body into warrior. Lift this time the back heel, the back arm windmills around from the back to the front. Step back into high plank, pause. Shift your weight forwards, coming through as you come forwards and up into forward facing dog. Tuck toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Extend that right leg, three-legged dog. Walk it, land it, hold. Reach the arms back. Come up to crescent lunge. Just pause. Keep your chest open, hips square to the front. Take a breath in. Land back foot. And come into classic warrior position. Lean over that front leg and come into extended side stretch, sweeping that top arm up and over, close towards your ear. Look towards that front foot. That shoulder, if you're resting the arm on your thigh, keep it away from your ear. Otherwise, reach the arm down all the way towards the ankle. Sweep the arms, breath in, come up. Exhale. Flip and reverse. Send the front arm, reach it up and back. Lengthen the back arm, reaching it down towards the back of your thigh, towards your calf. Return. Puff chest open. Draw the shoulder blades together and down the back. Lift that back arm. Sweep it up and around. Step back to high plank. Pause. Bring chest forwards. Keep coming forwards and up. Breath in. And take a long breath out. Downward facing dog. Extend your left leg. Breath in. And as you land it, hold. Reach the arms back. Sweep the arms forward. I'm coming up into crescent lunge. Active through the heart, through the chest, palms turning forwards. Send that back foot behind you, landing into warrior, reaching, extending the arms forward. Breath in. Lean over that front leg, coming into extended side stretch. Reaching that top arm and sending it up and over. So this might be all that you need. If you wanted to reach that bottom arm, going a little lower. Keep the sides of your body long. Breath in. And breath out. Flip and reverse. Take the front hand and reach it up and back. Top arm extends up, back arm reaches down. Come back through center. And breathe out. Lift that back heel, windmill the arms around, and step back to high plank, pausing here. Slowly lower, come forwards and up. Cobra or forward facing dog, take what you need. Tuck the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Extend that left leg for three-legged dog. And step it forwards, come all the way towards the top of the mat. Breath out, long exhale. Take a breath in, come up halfway. And breathe out. Inhale, return. Pausing, standing, top of your mat. Exhale, release your arms down. Take a breath in here, inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Step back, right to left into downward facing dog. So let's pause here. Send the hips up nice and high. That's some movement, using more of the upper half of your body. Heels down towards the mat. Lift the right arm and send that arm underneath you as you rotate and gently twist to one side. You're reaching right arm towards your left ankle. Look underneath that left arm. Keep sending everything up. Gentle spinal twist, try not to give too much. As you come back through the center, press those palms down. Land in child's pose, and with a big sigh, let it go. Take a moment or two. Let your body land here. gently bring your body up, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Once again, set up the strong base, both arms, both legs active, relaxing that lower jaw. Once you feel settled and ready to extend away, reach the left hand underneath towards the right ankle. Opposite hand to opposite heel. Gently twist as though you're rinsing, rotating, twisting through your rib cage. Look underneath the strong arm as it's holding and supporting and lifting you away from the ground. One more round of your breath. As you replace that hand, and come back to child's pose. And again with a big sigh, let it go. Stretch the arms out in front, forehead softens onto the mat. Come back to the awareness of your breath. And breathing calmly and quietly. And take a breath in, come up gently. And tuck the toes under as we press back to downward facing dog. Lift both heels as you come up onto tippy toes. And again, take tiny little steps as you walk back towards the top of your mat. Breath out. Take a breath in, come up halfway only. Shoulders back, relaxing that lower jaw. Think of length, not just through the sides of your body, but down through the side of your neck as well. Open up from this space. Breath in, stand up nice and tall. And exhale, release your arms beside your body. Turn side on. Take your feet about 3 times the width of your hips. Slightly turn the toes in. So if I look down, the toes are subtly turned in, the heels the widest part of the body. Keep your chest, your heart open and lifted. Again, lengthen through side body. Reach the arms out in front. Take a gentle inhale. Start to breathe out, and as I'm exhaling, sweeping forwards, emphasis on coming forwards and down, and place the hands just to rest towards the front edge of the mat. So almost like halfway left, I'm just pausing here at the space, my chest is nice and open and lifted. I'm looking at that space in front of the mat. Maybe start to walk the hands a little closer. So they're coming down as though you're going to bring the crown, the top of your head, towards the mat, towards the ground. Keep an awareness of the weight down through the outer edges of both the feet. Maybe even spread the toes here, and that connection and awareness into the space behind your little toe. Now walk the hands over towards that right ankle, and just take the hands, try not to pull on your ankle, but just take the hands almost just gently to touch, and then bring your forehead a little closer towards that right knee. So just shifting your weight over and across gently to one side. Come through the center, pause in the middle. As you gently shift that up and over to the other side, gently take it across, both hands towards the left ankle. Try not to pull on that ankle. Just reach the hands to a comfortable position, and then bring your forehead closer towards that left knee. Again, come through the middle. Let the head hang low as we create a little bit of movement from side to side. As you let your head hang, notice the difference. For me now, the head coming a little closer, almost the crown of the head now about to touch the mat, touch the ground. Maybe soften the elbows, relax that lower jaw. Walk the hands forwards towards the front edge of the mat. Lift the heart, lift the chest, open up through the front of the body. pivot that front foot and turn it square towards the front edge of the mat. And bring the hands towards that front foot, lift back heel. And just come into a low lunge, the hands either side of that front leg. And maybe you want to lower down onto your forearms. Keep the back leg active and lifted, the top of your thigh drawing away from the mat. Sinking your shoulders, your upper body down inside of that front leg. And remember, option here is just to have the hands on the ground, the arms straight. Could use a prop, could have your hands supported on a block in this position as well. Chest is forward, heart is open. And take the hands either side, wiggle that front foot in, spring that back foot, lift it up and step through. Take a long breath out here as you fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. And take a long breath out. Lunge that left leg back. Low lunge, pause. Move that front foot a little wider and have the hands, could be just the tips of your fingers, so maybe tips of the fingers is all you need. Palms, so that brings you down a little lower. So the shoulder, this front shoulder just brushing down through the inside of that front leg. But if it's comfortable, come all the way down to your forearms, bring your chest forward, press back into that back heel, both feet are active. This foot is in flexion, the back foot is in flexion, the chest is opening forwards. Keeping strong through that back quad, keep it active rather than letting it collapse. Find the flow of your breath. Take one more inhale. Calming exhale. Walk the hands back. Wiggle that front foot in. Lift that back foot, spring forwards. Exhale, fold. Maybe give the head a little bit of a shake. Inhale, halfway left. And take a long breath out. Step your left leg back, come into downward facing dog. Pike the hips out, both arms are strong and long. Lengthen through the back of your thighs. Take one more inhale. And with your next exhale, release and stretch back into child's pose. Forehead softens onto the mat. And maybe that's all you need right here now. Give yourself permission to rest, just to breathe. Have a play around with the arms, maybe take the hands a little wider, maybe circle the arms behind you. As you lift the upper body, and we come to rest for a moment or two into the Japanese sitting pose. If this is not the most comfortable position for you, place a bit of support between your hips and your heels, maybe a cushion, a rolled up towel. Shoulders roll back, relax that lower jaw. Right at the very beginning of the practice, we were starting in a seated position, noticing the gentle rise and fall of the chest as you breathe. Come back to that feel right now. As you bring the body up to a comfortable kneeling position, have the knees underneath your hips, and your hips under your shoulders. Tuck the toes under beneath you. So your foot's in a flex position. Reach the hands. Have your thumbs on the outside, and then just gently extend the hips slightly forwards. Now at this stage I'm just keeping my head in a neutral position, just guiding the hips forward until you can feel a stretch, a gentle opening in the front of your thighs. Imagine that you're creating a lift through your chest. So lifting up through the sternum, through the chest. And then take the right arm and reach it up. Look up slightly. Try not to collapse into the head. Maybe you can feel that back heel there. Take the other arm, reach it up. Sweep that arm behind if you can find the heel. Now if you were to strengthen the arms, bring your chest open. Let the head go back, but find that sense of release through the jaw. If you're tensing the jaw, the neck will be tense, the shoulders will be tense. Trust your instincts as you look back. And then slowly lift one arm up, and the other arm up. And sit back into the Japanese sitting pose. The key always comes when that awareness and connection to the breath. I often ask myself when I'm in these poses, can I breathe? When I'm in a pose and if I'm struggling or fighting for my breath, I have to find a space in that pose which enables me to breathe easily. Let's try that one again. Come up. The knees about shoulder, hip width apart. If you wanted to, you can keep the top of the feet down. The reason I tuck the toes under is you've not got so far to go, but it also gives a little bit of stability through the foot and a little bit of support for your hips and your glutes as you come into this one. Hands just slightly behind the back of your hips. Keep them away from your spine. Send your hips, your thighs forwards. Open up the chest. Now if you were to pause here, can you breathe? If you can find that you can breathe here, lift the chest, lift the heart. This time take the left arm up and follow the tips of your fingers, and then they'll go out of your range and behind. You may be able to feel the back of your heel. I might be looking up slightly. Take the right arm, let it follow up and around. Now if you can look up and you can still breathe, then let the head find a space to relax into. Bring one arm and the other, and sit back. Into Japanese sitting pose. Quite often gets the heart rate up, that pose. So if you feel a little huffy puffy, just land for a moment, let your breathing settle. Transition. As I take the legs out in front of me. Soft knees might be all that I need. Or straightening the legs out in front of me. I'm going to start with my knees ever so slightly bent as I fold forwards. Take your time. Allow the head to be the last thing to come down and through. Walk the hands back towards the body. Scoop your hips down towards your heels. Feet flat, knees fairly close together. Use the arms, the legs to support the body as you lower slowly, calmly, quietly back to the mat. When you land here, let your body settle, even if it's just for one moment. Allow your body to just come into a rested position. How easy is it to breathe? As you walk the feet back towards the body, bring the soles of the feet together into the butterfly position. You have a play around with different ranges of movement. You could bring your feet in really close or take the feet much further down towards the end of the mat. Make sure you're supporting the foot and the ankle joint so that you're onto the knife edge of the outer edges of your feet. Once the foot and the ankles are supported on the ground and your hips, your pelvis is supported, it's quite okay to let the knees just float here in mid-space. Have a play with where your arms want to go. Do they want to go just to the sides of you, palms rotated up, or circle the arms around and have your hands resting behind you as I just gently open up the front of the body. And the first place you may notice this is down through the opening of the front of your thighs, through the hips, through the pelvis. And then maybe the opening through the belly. And soften your belly as you do this. Soften around the belly button. Soften around the ribs. Open the chest. Widen through your collarbones. Head is supported. The hands, the wrists are supported. The shoulders supported, the back of my hips, the pelvis supported, my feet, my ankles supported. Following the flow of your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Find some new space in your body to breathe into. Take one more round of the breath here. And take a long breath out. You bring the soles of the feet gently towards each other. Sweep the arms around and bring the arms down gently. You may feel a little awkward and uncomfortable as you do that. Squeeze the inner thighs, the knees together. Take the right hand to the outside of your left thigh. And just gently lift up onto your tippy toes first and shift the weight up and over. And just the hands supporting. And then move the opposite arm away and look down towards the tips of the fingers. So your knees have gone one way and your head is rotated in the opposite direction. Coming into a very gentle spinal twist. Very gently coming towards the end of this practice. Release that hand, massage the lower back into the mat, come through the center. Again, come up onto your tippy toes, reach opposite hand across, slowly shift the weight of both the legs over, move the opposite arm away. So as the legs go one way, the head rotates and looks in the opposite direction. Pausing, landing, resting your body here. With that gentle twist coming from the thoracic spine, from the back of your rib cage, all the way through the middle, the center of your body, easy is it to breathe? Maybe you have to find some new space into the back of your body. Maybe still keeping the chest nice and open. Keep the airwaves open. And the chest gently lifted. As I slowly release that hand, again come up onto the tippy toes as you come through the center. Bring both the knees to the chest, hands back your thighs or halfway down the shin. Maybe curl the head. Tuck your body. You can lift the head if that feels too much. If that stresses your neck out, just leave your head on the mat. Maybe wiggle the toes. And as we rest the body into Shavasana, if you wanted to place a blanket over your body, if you wanted to place a top on or some socks, take a few moments just to move the body and find a space which you can rest comfortably into. As you come into stillness, do rest into silence. Begin to move the fingers, begin to move the toes. Gently walk the feet back towards the body as you roll over onto one side. And come into the fetal position. And use the hands to gently support the body. Come up. And coming back to the position that we started this practice in, comfortable seated, rested position. And as I raise my hands towards my heart, let's bring this practice to an end here today. Take a breath in. Let it go. Namaste. Thank you.